We're live in Dubai at the Global Business Forum, Ishan. And I'm here with Dr. Saeed Al
Dahari.
Jahari.
Dahari.
Dahari,
Yes.
thank you. He's working on a lot of great projects, really impressive resume, smart cities. I really want to touch this. How do you like the conference so far?
It's been a great conference. This is a global business forum for ASEAN, attracting investors, VCs, government officials from the UAE and from the ASEAN nations. Has been a really global platform in terms of business activities and in terms of what's happening on the investment landscape when it comes to cooperation between the UAE and Dubai in particular and the ASEAN nations. So it's a great conference, good people, and I enjoy it.
Very good. We're on the Expo 2020 grounds, where they're representing how many countries have pavilions here?
Oh, it's almost about 200,
Almost
200
200 pavilions
countries.
here to
Yes,
represent
it's the
us.
first time that this expo, the Expo 2020 in Dubai, has gathered this number of countries participation, since Expo was envisioned.
It's really impressive, really something to come see. You have to make a trip here to Dubai, one of the leaders of the world right now, the most remarkable architecture, the most progressive leadership going on here in Dubai with the Emirates. Very impressive job. So I know there's a lot of smart city applications being used here at the expo. Could you share a little bit about some of them?
Good question, David. So, actually, I represent a company called Smart World. Smart World by far is the leading system integrator company in the UAE. It's a joint venture between two entities, a main telecom provider in the UAE, Etisalat, and Dubai South. We've been proud that we've engaged with Expo 2020 since it has been announced in 2015. So we've engaged with our strategic partner for Expo 2020, Cisco, and we have built what I shall say a smart city from green field. So what you see here in Expo, 193 pavilions that are spread around what 4.5 square kilometer is a smart city in a true sense, in a way that we have provided the total connectivity for the entire expo site with 5G connectivity as well. We have made IoT in all the buildings that are available in this city. So it's basically a city run on a digital platform. Mm-hmm. You can control every single aspect or every single parameter within the building: the temperature, the lighting. You can watch and you can know where the crowds are really. So we've built with our strategic partner a digital platform to really control the smart city. So we have a connectivity, we have digital solutions, we have smart pavilions as well within the different pavilions as visitors come and visit Expo. Has been really a great experience. I came a couple of times and I plan to come quite often, sometimes alone, sometimes with my family, because there are just so much, to see and observe.
Did you end up getting your passport?
Oh, I'm not into that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I like to visit the different pavilions, and it's been really, really a huge learning and cultural experience,
Yes.
to get to know the different cultures of the world, to get to know actually the countries of the world are coming to us.
Exactly.
So that is something amazing.
Yes, it's really one of the places to visit right now, especially. And then we have this example of how well things can operate using technologies and all the information and moving people here to there, and how smooth you can get around the road systems.
You can find robots everywhere.
There's
and
robots
the whole
rolling around.
There's about more than 120 robots being deployed
taking
by
orders.
the strategic partner of Expo Terminus, the Chinese conglomerate company in robotics who have put this number of robots that can guide people, that can observe people, that can
Keep
provide
things
information to people.
It's very fun, very exciting. So how far does the smart identification run here, and what are we looking at in the future?
Okay, so usually visitors here, they can, of course, purchase the tickets, and then they can download the app for Expo 2020, have the ticket, imported into the app, and they don't need to take any physical identification other than, of course, their IDs if they are, from residents, or maybe, another source of ID if they want to be identified. So this is from identification and from the experience perspective. But when you look into also, interaction and going through, for example, to pavilions, once you download the app, you can use the app in many ways, actually, to overcome maybe, the crowd in certain areas, because some of the pavilions actually you need to wait, a couple of hours, almost 2 to 3 hours to go into a pavilion. UAE pavilion, for example, I came once and I had to wait almost about 2 hours. So by having the app, you can overcome this crowd. You can schedule your visit, and you can do so many things. So it's more about customer experience and how you want to enjoy your experience visiting Expo. So this is from identification. So we have built, many solutions actually with identification. We have the UAE, what we call it, the UAE Pass. It's a single sign-on through an app which uses the biometric your facial recognition to provide you access to all of the government services in the UAE. So you don't need any longer to memorize password and user IDs, except probably, a one number, a 4-digit number that you will need to, to authenticate yourself when you go through the app to access government services. So I can pay my fines, I can pay my utility bills, I can renew my driver's license, my car registration, and do so much of the government services, the more than 120 government services, through one single app called Dubai Now in Dubai, and in Abu Dhabi is called TAM. So you can use these two apps to access all of the government services and all of the utilities, to pay through one single app.
And Dr. Saeed, what are you most excited about, and what do the next few months look like for you?
It looks really there's big opportunities, coming to Expo and looking into those countries coming, and every day there is a new things actually is being announced, a new government officials and the presidents of countries coming to Expo, celebrating their national day, and so much activity going on. But at the same time, there is a lot of drive, there is a lot of transformation happening, at this time, as we, coming out of recovery from COVID-19, and trying to, actually, we know that, COVID-19 has accelerated digital transformation all over the world, and the UAE is non-exceptional. Actually, what has happened in the past 2 years is tremendous in terms of putting innovation, in the environment, putting innovation that we see everywhere through our life. One of the things that we've done, for example, when people are talking about blockchain, we took this and scale it up to provide a blockchain credentialing system for universities and for schools in the UAE, taking the journey of the students all the way from grade 1 to high school. So all the credentials, all those certificates are on the blockchain. And if now someone has graduated, let's say, from a university in the UAE or from a school in the UAE, and need to send his credentials to an employer, he can do this with a push of a button from his wallet. And this all goes authenticated, secured through the registrar office, pushing the certificate to the employer, and this is all happens within minutes.
Very good. Dr. Saeed, one of the leaders in this field. It's been an amazing conference. They have a beautiful setup, and the weather here in Dubai is incredible right now. Every day is perfect. So it's really nice. I'll get out to the expo, check it out, and let you guys know how it is. Dr. Saeed, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, David. Enjoy your time here in Dubai.
And we'll see you soon.
Sure. Great.
Awesome.